Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another First Division show with the preview show here today. And delighted to welcome Keith Ryan and Gavin Woods once again. Guys, I was only talking to you a second ago. What's up?
How's it going? Long time no see.
My hair grew back in that 10 seconds.
I think people will cop on, even though there's 4 days between these videos, I think people are going to cop on going to see everything the same. We've been wearing the same clothes.
Wait till I move that frame.
Hang on, yeah. Different bottle of Lucasade. Cove Ramblers and Longford Town. Now, we're getting to the stage of the season. Let's be real here. We are getting to the stage of the season where these games are, some of these games, of course, a couple of games to go. There's 3 games left. Some of these games are getting a bit pointless, might be harsh of a word, but they kind of are. I mean, we spoke about in the review show about Keegan and looking to next season for Cove, and Longford obviously are kind of, they're fourth basically in the league, you know. But what does a manager like Shane Keegan, Gavin, I'll talk to you about Cove this time, get out a game like this? What is he looking at this point?
I suppose, Keith, he's looking, for example, he's looking at the lads who he think will next year want to push if they want to, you know, obviously the most important thing is for next season is obviously do better. So he's going to look at players who have the character and the players who want to play for Cove Ramblers. You know, he look at it from a point of view and say, okay, you know, this so-and-so, this fella is interested. He wants to be here. He wants to give 110%. He puts in the effort and training, and, you know, like they probably only train twice a week. So obviously they probably have their own programs outside of that, like gym programs or whatever, and they look after themselves. And, you know, like for want of a better word, Roy Keane's statement, your eyes don't lie to you. So like he'll see the lads who actually want to play for Cove, and the players who kind of are only going through the motion. Look, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not. So I suppose for the last couple of games, he'll want to see the characters in the team and lads who'll who want to be there next year and who'll want to be with him and try and push for next season and try and get up the league and just improve next year. You know,
I suppose, Keith. Yeah, I suppose it's all about, can he identify better players in certain areas, like, because I think the Cove players are generally very honest players, it's fair to say, aren't they? But can he identify better players that he can actually get to Cove? That's the key, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, and again, Gavin will probably know a lot more than me, but surely there's players within the Munster Senior League that can make that step up to League of Ireland football. You know, there have been players around the league that have done that. Like, let's mention Jason Bourne that went to Bray. He started off with Crumlin. He was whipped out of Leinster Senior League, and, you know, look how his career went. So Shane will definitely be scouting around that region. You know, the unfortunate thing with Cove, it's not an attractive place to go if you're based in Dublin or if you're based north. You know, like petrol wise, and, you know, you're traveling down, and they would train down there how many times a week. So
and if you look at the teams around them, Keith, Wexford and Athlone can technically attract a better player for that reason, can't they?
100%. Obviously, Athlone's more central, and then Wexford on the east coast, closer to Dublin as well. So, yeah, Shane has work cut out, but he did well with Wexford. He built Wexford up from nothing really. Yeah. Got them promoted, won the first division with them. So, I think Shane, although he has it all ahead of him, I think he'll do well, and he'll get some players that will do well for Cove now.
Yeah, do you think Cronin be happy enough or content, Gavin, with the season so far? Longford are a little disappointing because, of course, they lost. Look, they struggled in the Premier Division, then they lost basically their best players, like Derv and Aaron O'Driscoll, to name a few. You know, so I suppose we're getting from Longford what we thought we'd get, really, are we?
Yeah, and then, like, you know, as I said, and I've said this a couple of times, and I know I'm repeating myself, but like they're probably the most organised team I've seen in Turner's Cross this year. You know, when they played City, I thought they were just very well organised and played very well as a unit, which is kind of surprising considering, you know, they lost a couple of players, like they lost Ryan Graydon to Derry, you know, but like it's kind of strange in that sense, I suppose. But like they've impressed me this year, and that's the thing about them. Of all the teams that come down, we say of the lesser teams than Galway or Waterford, Longford have been the team that have really impressed me. You know,
it might be a case, Gavin, they found it easier to play against some of the top sides, though. You know, that kind of way. I think that could be the case as well, because they have dropped points. Like, for example, they lost Athlone and drew to Athlone. for example, like, you know what I mean? So that might be the case, like, with them, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange one, and I suppose, look, the way the season is going for them, you know, they'll be just, again, I suppose it's one of these things where they'll just want to see it. And then I suppose, look, see, I don't know what goes on up there in terms of, you know, have they financial pull, or, you know, if they're a club to, you know, that they're an inviting club to join. But like I have to say myself, from an outside fan, like, to watch them, I've been very interested in them. So, you know, if there was a player interested in going there, I personally myself, I think it'd be a great move, because they were superb to watch in Turner's Cross. You know, twice I've seen them, they were very good to watch in Turner's Cross, to be fair to them, you know.
Chance for Gavin to talk about Cork City, because they are playing this week and they're playing Wexford FC at home, and there's a very good chance if Cork City win this game that they're going to win the title, because let's be honest, even if Galway win, there'll be 6 points in it with 2 games to go, right? They won't officially lift it if that happens, though, but at the moment there's a 12-point difference in goal difference. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to win it in Turner's Cross, you know what I mean, from a Cork perspective. I'm sure, Gavin, there's going to be a massive, massive crowd at Turner's Cross. It'll probably be a sellout, obviously, in the hope and in anticipation that they may actually lift the trophy. Are you excited? Are you nervous?
Yeah, I suppose I'm kind of like, you know I come on this and I never give away how I'm feeling, but it's
only in the WhatsApp group.
Only in the WhatsApp group, yeah.
We're here singing, guys.
Yeah, where I get all excited and I start singing and everything, and I start doing my Robbie Keane impressions. But it's kind of a strange one in that sense. Like, I think, you know, it'd be nice to win. It'd be nice to win Friday night, and then, like, we're Athlone away. And I think that what they need is a point. I think after that, then I think is basically to win it. So, like, again, this is no disrespect to Keith, but I think it'd be nice to be champions in the last game in Turner's Cross, because I think, like, if they have 2 home games left, so I suspect they'll get, probably all going well, I suppose, if the weather's half decent, they'll probably bring maybe 5,000 to the Cross on Friday night. And, like, I mean, if they're champions on the last game of the season, if they're champions before the last game against Bray, then they're going to sell out Turner's Cross. So, look, it'd be a nice way to finish off the season, you know.
Keith, they're champions in waiting, really, aren't they? It's going to happen. It's just a question of when. But, you know, as a fan yourself, you're not fussy, but it's always great to do it in your home ground, isn't it?
They've been champions for weeks, Keith. Let's be honest. Like, with the form Galway have been in, Galway almost threw away the chance to overtake Cork, you know, and, you know, Cork have just been taken over, and yeah, you're right. It'd be lovely for Cork to do it in the home grounds, do it in Turner's Cross. It'd be great if they got 5,000 fans at the game. I was down there a few years ago. I was actually talking to the late John Kennedy, and when Cork lifted the title in 2017, I think it was. A great night down in Turner's Cross. It was fireworks. It was everything. It was full house, and it was good to see. You know, even though we hadn't done so well that night, it was just good to see. You know, and it'll be a party atmosphere on Friday night, because let's be honest, Wexford, even though they rep Bray 4-2, they probably won't get anything out of the game. I think Cork City will win this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, we'll just go back quickly. Cove and Longford predictions, Gavin.
Which game? Sorry, Cove and
Longford.
Oh, 2-2.
Keith?
4-4. I'm only messing. I think 2-1 to Longford. I think Longford will get a win down there.
Maybe it will be. Who knows? I'm going to go for Cove to win for some reason. 1-0 for some reason.
Sam Burden to score. You've heard
it. Cork and Wexford, Gavin? Is he going to be brave?
I'm going to go 3-1, and I'm hoping Jack Doherty scores for Wexford.
Keith?
2-0 to Cork, I think, and and Louis Britton will get a double.
I'm going to go 1-0 Wexford. I'll go 1-0 Wexford. Jack Doherty in the last minute. No, I'm only messing with you. Could you imagine, actually, seriously? Could you imagine the crack of Gavin? You'd have to get him on the show just for that alone. No, Cork for me as well. I don't think Wexford are the best defensively either. So Cork, something like Gavin, but I'll change it. I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2-1. Galway United and Athlone. And look, it goes without saying, Gavin, Galway just have to win this game and hope for the best.
They will. They'll be hoping to, but again, Athlone have been on form, and the problem is, I think the pressure is on Galway, and they just seem, for Galway, they can't handle the pressure at the moment, whatever's going on there. And Athlone are on form; they're scoring goals. As you said, and the Curran's looking good. Thomas Lewis banging in the goals. So I actually think this is going to be 2-2 draw. And I think Lou is going to get 2 goals. And we're going to be champions.
Yeah, I think Galway win this match. I think both teams will score though, but I think because Galway have to win the match, they know they have to go all guns blazing, and I think they'll get. I think we 3-1 to Galway.
Yeah, I think Galway will win as well. But you're right, Athlone, I think will score. Be fairly confident will score. Lou is really putting them in. Adam Lennon is playing well. I do think Galway will nick it though. I do think they might be a bit nervous, but they'll nick it 2-1 and they'll kind of bring it to next week as such, even though it's actually over. But yeah, 2-1 Galway for me. And finally, Waterford take on Treaty, Gavin, and it's hard to see Waterford not bringing that momentum. Maybe this is a dress rehearsal for the FAI Cup final. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be unbelievable. It'd be fantastic to see it, to be fair. But like Waterford, they're flying, they're scoring goals for fun, and as I said, look, they're superb, and Sean has told us already, like Uche has been a huge plus to him, even though they probably didn't need more attacking prowess, but he seemed to be a great addition, and Sean is mad raving about him. So I reckon
Sean doesn't want Louis Britton back, no?
Sorry?
Sean doesn't want Louis Britton back, no?
Geez, that'd be very hard not to call. I'd say I don't want to. I'd say in the space of 1 second, the answer would be no. I'd say, to be honest.
Why?
Look, he might do well then.
I think there's a conspiracy here. I think Waterford sent them on a mission to Cork or something. They try to throw him out, or try the reverse psychology situation, I'd say, but it just even Cork City have figured it out at this stage. I think Waterford. I think this game is going to be 4-2. I think Waterford's problem again is conceding goals, but they score for fun, so I'm going to go 4-2 here to Waterford. Keith?
Yeah, I think Waterford again. I mean, it's funny if Galway don't get anything out of their game, Waterford do. Waterford could jump up to second. So I mean, that'd be interesting because obviously Waterford will then be playing Treaty in the playoff. So it's it could be a dress rehearsal for that. So yeah, Waterford. I think Patterson's on form.
Everyone's on form, really, aren't they?
I was just going to say every one of them is on form. Good run to the semi-final of the cup as well. So, I think comfortably Waterford 3-0.
Yeah, I was going to go the same as Gavin, would you believe? And the chances of two people going the same, like 4-2, like rather than a 2-0 or 1-0. But it was in my head, and Gavin pops out with 4-2, and it was like, so I go to the bookies for that one, lads. We'll leave it there. Thanks for coming on, guys. Guys at home, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a few predictions, and thanks again for watching.